So one of the things that we see with a lot of our newer athletes coming in is they often have a wrong hand position on the front squat. And the hand position on your front squat is really important, because if your hands are too close or too wide, then you're not going to be able to get a good rack across your shoulders, and that's going to really affect you at the bottom of the front squat position, where your elbows are going to want to roll forward, and then the bar is going to want to pull you forward and then dump. So the way to get a proper hand position is really with relation to your shoulder. If I'm here and I roll in, you see how my elbows or my hands are stacked on top of my shoulders. My fingers on top of my shoulders, and my elbows are right here because I'm in so tight. And I can kind of get my elbows up, but I can't really get them up any more than that. And then whenever I squat down with it, look what happens now. They're basically pointing down. So this is an example of a grip that's too close, and I know that because my knuckles are overlapping my shoulders. I can also go too wide, where whenever I come under here, I'm like this, and my elbows are higher, but again, as I go down, look what happens. They immediately roll down, and it's really hard for me to hold the bar on top of the rack. So even though I started here, I ended up here. If that weight gets heavier, I'm not going to be able to hold it. So how do you know where to place your hands for a proper position? My rule of thumb is to basically have your knuckle, your first finger, the knuckle of your first finger clear the outside of your shoulder by about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So for me, that's about 1 inch off of the smooth part, where the knurling here on the bar begins. For some of the junior hires that we coach, they'll be all the way in here. But we also have some big guys, ex-football players, stuff like that, that are out here. So it depends on your shoulder width a lot, obviously. So it would look like this. You'll see the difference here. Whenever I roll in, and then I'm gonna pull my elbows up and in, just like that. Now you see my elbows are high, and as I go down, I can maintain that high position. So it really doesn't change whenever I have a proper rack. My elbows don't change. So let's talk about how you approach the bar and how you're going to get that proper rack with a good hand position, and then how you can maintain it throughout the movement. The first step is to start here and then roll under. When I say roll under, I mean you're going to place your neck here and then roll your elbows through, or punch them through here, so that they're up and in. So ideally, if you look at the arc that my elbows trace, they're coming up and in like that. I'm not trying to touch them or anything like that, but I'm just bringing them in, getting that tension there, relative my elbow position relative to my wrist and shoulders. So I don't want my elbows pointing out here, but then again, I don't want them in here. It's a middle ground between there, but they're going to trace this little arc just like that. So I place my neck, get the bar right here. Here are my collarbones right here. I'm gonna place that right there. Elbows up and in. It allows me to breathe really easily, and it's pressed right against my neck. And then when you walk it in, hit it all the way up against the front, and then drop it. A lot of times we'll see new guys do this also. They'll kind of want to gingerly place it on the hooks. What happens is, though, you're looking at this one, and then this side over here dips below, and you end up in a bad position. So just walk it in, be safe, hit the post, and drop it in. Well, that's about it. That's how you get a proper hand position, and that's how you maintain a good rack and set up the rack properly for a front squat.